It is what it is. That's the case. We're reviewing The American. It's J.C. Newman. It's not one I've tried, and not one that I really heard a lot about. I've heard about it a little while ago, but I've never seen it at a store. I never really looked into it to see what it was about. Maybe some of you have, maybe some of you haven't. What do you say? What do you know? Nobody cares. This Flex is brought to you by Joshua, so appreciate that. Of the sizes of the American, I think this is the biggest one as far as gauge. This is a big boy. You can look it up. It's big. This is the Fat Boy cigar. I think it's 5.5, 556, and I could be totally wrong. You're reviewing a cigar. Why don't you know all the specs? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So, but apparently with this one, because just like I told you, the larger the gauge, it weakens the cigar. They add in more Lajero. So okay, it's a ways to compensate. So this is an American Puro. Is it the first American Puro? I don't know. To say yes would be maybe a fallacy. Never before. But to say no, I don't know how to answer. It is Florida wrapper, Connecticut binder. I think it was Connecticut Havana, I think. And then the filler is going to have, Connecticut broadleaf. I think the filler has Connecticut Havana, but the filler has Pennsylvania too. And I could be wrong, but I thought it was two different kinds of Pennsylvania. Point is though, so it's a whole bunch of Pennsylvania in the filler, and some Connecticut, and then Floridian wrapper, but apparently though, some of the tobacco in the filler, if I read that correctly, is tobacco they use in their other cigar, the J.C. Newman Diamond Crown Black. So whatever. So, now I have a little damage to it, and that's my fault, because I planned on smoking it in my car. I was going to go somewhere during the day, and it just didn't happen. But yeah, so I got a little damage on the foot, but so if anything happens in the beginning, that's on me. I'm honest. I had it in my pocket, but I had a jacket on, and the jacket just put pressure in the wrong spot, and that's that. Well, if anything happens, we'll see. I have let it sit out for, I think, almost 2 days, so it's definitely, the moisture is just right. The problem is, though, I think there's more damage to the cigar than I wish should happen, and that's not that's not the cigar's fault. That's my fault. The aromatics are pretty strong off the bat. That's interesting. There's definitely going to be some damage. Yeah, there's going to be some damage to this. Here's what it is. I had this in my pocket all day. That's my fault. I'm an honest guy, so if this thing goes to shit, as far as the wrapper exploding, that's my fault. I had it out of the cellophane, and if I was going somewhere right away, but riding around, nobody cares. Driving around with the dough. Great draw. Really good draw. Fantastic draw. Now, this is higher end for J.C. Newman as far as the price. As far as is this going to be worth the price? That's the question. Quite spicy and heavy off the bat. That's kind of a little different. The whole mindset of the cigar should feel different because it's not normal to have, Florida wrapper, Connecticut binder, and then Connecticut, right, and Pennsylvania fillers. It's not the norm. So it should, the first time you have this, it should interest the mind because it should be completely unique. To me, that's the selling point. If it's not going to be unique and it just feels like any other cigar, well, paying $17 to $18 for this Fat Robusto is a high price. And just because you put the American stuff there, it is what it is. So we'll see. That cigar was falling out. It's a fucking big, it is a big boy cigar. It is quite odd. Very odd. Shit. 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 Holding that smoke, I mean, we just got started. Holding that smoke was a lot heavier and spicier and darker than I thought it would be. Wow. Wow. Now remember though, I've let this out. I didn't want this to be too moist. When you have tobacco that's too moist, especially for the first time trying a new cigar, it can really give you a bad, opinion of a cigar or a bad version of it. Tobacco that's too moist, you're not going to get the right flavor. Maybe not even the right draw. And then whenever you come back to it, you're always going to compare it to that. Guys like to shrug their own responsibility. I can't stress it enough. A cigar's moisture level. And I don't care, if you have a little gauge, that's nice. Take another cellophane, let it sit out even for a couple hours. Overnight's better. Let it sit out. Let it just breathe. Okay? Because it might just have a very damp, musty, mustiness to it. Let that shit breathe. Let it get fresh. Yeah, there's some damage here going on. That's my fault. This cigar is going to go bust in a little bit. But that's my fault. Yep, I got damage on top, damage on bottom. Just like in life. You might think someone's capable until you apply the heat. And then you'll see how good they burn or if they go bust. I hope this thing doesn't go completely bust. Please don't. Please, sir. I must say that initial strength has calmed down a little bit, and that disappoints me a little bit. It's still pretty stout. I don't want to speak about the darkness just yet. I still want to kind of see where this thing hits. The band's okay. Let's see what they did there, though. They're calling this the American, and you got a nice little Eye of Horus right there. Nice little... Is what it is, right? Sure. Little secret symbols going on there, baby. Draw is good. Construction's good. Not including my damage. That's my fault. See, if I was a scumbag, I'd be like, I can't believe this thing is unraveling. It's my fault. This is going to go bust. It is unique. Is it worth $18? Initially, I'm going to say no. I'm not including the damage, which is my fault. I'm just saying $18, dude, you're getting into Anejo or smaller Opus level. I can get Opus, $20, 888. Smaller Opus I can get for like 17. That's big boy prices. I just love how people throw around $15, $20 like that ain't shit no more. And I guess so. I mean, it is what it is with inflation, but there's still plenty of cigars. I get VSG for $14, and VSG is Ashton, but VSG is Fuente, right? No, this is not Fuente. This is true J.C. Newman. But to say this cigar is blindly is going to be better than VSG, I could say absolutely not. So that's a high price. Is it worth trying? I guess so, sure. But I just want to review the cigar. The price, though, is disappointing. When I first saw the cigar, I thought for some reason it was like a $10 cigar. And then I looked online, I was like, how much? $17, $18 a cigar? I mean, that's fucking hefty, man. But I'll say this, though. It's very unique. Hole in the smoke and the way it feels. You know, you get very comfortable with strong Nicaraguan cigars like my father. Um, Something very spicy on the LFD side or etc. It doesn't feel like either. It's an American Pure. So that is worth the price of missing, yeah. But to buy a box, I don't know. I really wish I didn't damage this cigar, but I'm going to keep on puffing on this. Not super dark. It feels like 65% darkness, but rather heavy. Very heavy on the wood note. It's got a good amount of spice, but the problem is me describing all the notes together, what it feels like, and I don't have an answer. And in theory, I shouldn't, because I don't think I smoked a lot of American Puros. Florida wrapper, Pennsylvania fillers, Connecticut fillers, Connecticut binder, and there were two different. One's a Connecticut Havana, and the other one's Connecticut broadleaf. Well, the initial impression is it's pretty stout, though. Pretty long finish. For newbies, I don't think so. For everyone else, I'd say give it a shot. Although it is unique, but although I hate to say it, you have to always factor in the price, and then factor in the competition at that price, below it and above it. It's not an $18 cigar. It's not. And maybe due to the cost of being all American tobacco, and I respect that. But there's better cigars for $15. There's better cigars than this for $12. So, is it good? Yeah. And I'm not including the damage. I'm not taking any points off for the damage, which is my fault. Okay? My fault is in my pocket. At all. That's not even a factor. Okay? Let's get that across the board. It's like, you broke your own window and you're complaining how cold it is. No, it's not what happened. I accept the wind. It's a cool concept. This cigar really should have been priced around $10, $12. I really could have understood it more. I mean, you get to that $20 mark, 17, 18 is $20, man. You get to around $20, man. Come on. You're playing with the best in the world. The Padron 6426, the VSGs, the ESGs, Davidoffs, right? Nicaragua. Get that for $20 a day. I get Opus X for $20. So, I mean, for God's sakes, you know? The Olmec, I get that, you know? Close to this, but shit. So I'm glad I tried this, and it's definitely, I think, worth a shot trying it. However, though, this is the fattest gauge, and even though they added Molajero to compensate, maybe try it in a smaller size. I don't remember the sizes though. I don't know if it's available in classical sizes like 5x50 or 6x50. I didn't do that much research. I think it's unique. I think it's a pretty cool concept. The profile, the way it's hitting me, which I don't know, even know if I'm going to try to describe it. It's unique, it's odd. And that could be a good or a bad thing. It's definitely experimental, even though you're from America. You're not used to smoking American Puros. I mean, Florida, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania don't generally have much in common. You get the Amish, and you get a bunch of, wannabe New Yorkers, and a bunch of retired New Yorkers down in Florida. It is what it is. I'll come back. Although I don't have any regrets on smoking this, meaning there's nothing bad for me to say about it. Price point aside, I think it's unique. It's odd. It's quite heavy, but not quite dark. It's definitely going to intrigue your mind for a little bit, maybe. Like, what the hell? Yeah. All those tobaccos combined, it is unique. I'd say worth trying once, but I wouldn't keep on going to that jukebox for $18 to play this song. Well, we're pretty much done with the cigar, deep into the last third. It's unique, it's interesting. I'll give it that. And I did enjoy it. But you have to always factor in the price. How much a price comes into factor, sometimes more or less. But the bottom line is, if I compare this to other cigars around that $20 mark, because I see them online for $17, $18, even $19 a stick. That's a hard sell for me to just put it out there for everyone saying, go buy a box. Boxes are going for $350, $400, for 20 cigars. So it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You could get literally boxes of Padron 26 for less. So it is what it is. It is a good cigar. I'd probably give it a 4.1, which is a good rating. Better than good, but it doesn't live up to the $20 price, even the $17, $18. It doesn't. So, try it, sure. It's cool, it's all American. The profile is unique, although nothing mind-blowing, but very different though. Caramel did come in after the second, third. There was spice in it, but not over. The beginning was much stronger than and then it really toned down, which that kind of bothers me. But a really unique wood note, I would say that. I mean, like a different wood note. I don't know exactly how to even describe that wood note. Odd, not a cedar, and more along the lines of a charred wood, but a different kind of feeling. That's very different. Almost kind of like the feeling you get like out of like those Kentucky cured kind of cigars I tried once, which I wasn't liking. But I mean, this is natural. This is not, artificially enhanced. That kind of charred wood, very smoky wood. But so, I think it's a cool cigar. I think it's unique. Definitely overpriced. That's a factor, man, dude. I mean, shit. So my recommendation is maybe go try one. But even then, at the sub $20 mark, it's hard for me to say, guys, go out and go to town on that. I mean, the Laredo Mundo's $11. The aging room in Nicaragua is $12. The Pledge is $12. Well, Astoria is $12. And I'm not trying to shit on this cigar. I like what they did. And I like that it was different. It should have been a $12 cigar, and even then, there's other cigars that beat it. So it is what it is. I feel like I'm talking shit about it, but I'm not trying to. No problems with the draw, no problems with the burn. That little damage I have, it burned right through that, so testament to the construction. So it was good construction, it was good quality. But, damn it, I keep saying it, but that's the biggest thing I get stressed about this. It's not worth the price. At $10, I'd be like, shit, man, that's a pretty cool cigar for $10. 12, it'd be fair pricing. 20 is, 18 and 20 is there is world class, which this is not. There are world class, ridiculous cigars. You can get a Oliva Melanio V Maduro for, let's just say, $12 to $14, depending on the size, and that blows it away. But it has the uniqueness. So it's a very unique cigar that, with a very high price tag for what it is. You figure out what you want to do. I think it's a pretty good cigar. That's not worth the money. So it's inflation. They did have a Churchill in this at 7x47. That's probably the size to try at 47 gauge. But still, it's $20. So it is what it is. I'll see you around. You stay fresh. Take 2 showers.